So let's take the next step and finish this program. We have the yard time, and we need to do a conversion to the meter time. In order to calculate the meter time value, we just need the yard time and to multiply that by 1.1. Well, let's store that result somewhere. So let's create a variable called meter time value, and we'll assign that the value of the yard time value multiplied by 1.1. Well, that's the actual conversion they use for 100 yards. Now, we can alert that and check what that value is. I'm just going to copy the yard time value, alert, and replace it with the meter time value. And then we'll get a chance to see both of them. And I'm going to click on Convert to Meters. We're going to see it's still getting out that value, 55.3. Then it's calculating our meter time value. It happens to be 60.83 when we do that multiplication. That last step we want to do is we want to put that calculated value into the meter time rather than this random 63.2. So we can get that variable and pass it into that value function, and that will allow that calculated time to be displayed on the page. So I'm going to click on Convert to Meters. It's showing me that it did pull out the 55.3. It calculated it to 60.83. And then we put that meter time into the page. The meter time could end up with more decimal places than we want. For example, in swimming, we go to the 100th of a second. So let's change that to the 100th of a second. So it's going to be 55.32. We do that conversion to meters. And, oh, wow, we don't need that many digits after the decimal place. So let's use our toFixed to fix that. And 2 decimal places are good for swimming. Let's see how it works. And I'm going to change that value to 55.32, convert it to meters. You can see it still calculates all those digits out, but because we used toFix when we wrote it to the meter time value, then it dropped those extra decimal places and gave us just the 60.85, just as we would want. Now that we have our program working, and maybe we should test another value. Let's say somebody swam it in 58 flat, and their meter time then would be 63.80. Okay, well, now that we know it's working, we want to get rid of these extra alerts because they're kind of annoying. We know it works, so let's just put the answer on the page. We also probably don't need to put 55.3 in the box to start with. I mean, it's a little misleading because it's harder to realize you should type in your own swim time. So we actually can get rid of this attribute. Even though we don't have it written on the input element, the input element still has a value attribute, and so we can still use these dot vals for those input elements. This time we swam it in 52.2, and we get the conversion to 57.42. And we have a very nice working swim converter.